In this video, I'm going to show you the two types of ads you need to be running for your gym or your studio in 2025 if you want to consistently sign up 15, 20, even 25 new members per month. And after working with hundreds of gym and studio owners on my own and when I was the director of marketing for a fitness franchise, what we're going to cover today is hands down what is working best right now in 2025 to grow your gym or your studio with respect to paid ads. Now, I have built what I call the P2 ad system, and there's two important elements of that system. Number one is what I call boosted branding ads. Number two is what I call direct response ads. So I'm going to cover what they are a little bit high level, and then we're going to go a little bit deeper, a little more granular into each one. So boosted branding, this is an essential part of your P2 ad system, and virtually nobody does this. And it's a process of finding your best pieces of content that you've posted over the last 30 days, and we turn them into an ad. We turn them into a boosted post. Now, the objective here is not to get leads. We're not trying to do that. Rather, all we're trying to do is build brand and build trust extremely fast with our local market and our local community, because right now we're in a very low trust environment, and boosted branding is essential as it builds trust faster than anything else that you can possibly do from a marketing perspective. Now, direct response ads, those are going to be the ads that we use to get leads. Your direct response ads are the most aggressive part of the P2 ad system. This is where we're marketing your ramp up program. And if you don't know what a ramp up program is, go back into, I believe it's video 3 in this 6-part video series. And we talk about what is the thing that you should be marketing and selling on the front end, because it's not free trials and it's not discounted offers. So you're going to be marketing your ramp up program with the objective of these ads generating leads that you can ultimately turn into clients. And if you've ran ads for your gym or your studio previously, you've been running direct response ads, even if you knew it or not. But what was working in 2022, 2023, et cetera, it isn't working well anymore. And if you keep running your ads and your offers that way, you're going to keep having poor performance. And in this video now, we're going to break down how to structure your direct response ads for the best performance. So now that we've covered high level, what is the boosted branding ads and what are direct response ads, I'm going to go in and show you exactly how to set up each one. And we're going to start with the boosted branding structure and ad setup. Now, there's a bit of a pre-step with respect to boosted branding, and that's content. And as much as you like it or don't like it, you need to be producing content for your gym or your studio in 2025, because we are in this low trust environment, and that is the fastest and best way to build trust. People need to see who you are, who your team are, what are the clients that you work with, what's the demographic, how do you do it, how do you train people. That's the stuff that you need to put it out into the ecosystem so that you can build trust. And if you're not currently producing content for your gym or your studio, you can go watch the last video in this series, and we talk all about content. And I get it if you don't like it. I don't like content either. And up until November of 2024, my 4 original gyms, which I've now sold to my leadership team, but I'm still in partnership with, we didn't do content because I didn't think it was necessary. But everything came to a screeching halt in 2024, and I realized that, okay, content is necessary. So as much as you don't want to do it, it's essential if you want to have a successful business in 2025 and beyond. Now, step 1. So you have been producing content for at least 30 days. Step 1, what we're going to do is we're going to go back and we're going to find your top 3 pieces of content over the last 30 days, because what we're doing, we're using our organic metrics to determine which was the best 3 pieces of content that we created, what resonated most with our audience. And then what we do is we supercharge them by turning them into an ad. And the way that you find that out is with your Instagram insights. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to your Instagram profile. So this is one of my original gyms, and you're going to go over to, this is on desktop. Now, obviously, if you're doing it on your phone, the buttons are a little bit different on the left, but you're going to go to the same spot. So we're going to go to dashboard. Then you're going to click on insights, and you're going to go to content. And then from here, what you're going to do is I like to just look at views. You can look at all of these different things. For the most part, the pieces of content that float to your top 3, they're going to be the top 3 pretty much no matter what you select. However, it can be some variability, but what you're going to do is select views. Now here, you're going to see it's going to put it in order of the last 30 days of what has gotten the most views. Now you're going to see here, this is a great example of why we do boosted branding. You can see these two pieces of content have over 10,000 views each. That's because currently these two are being ran as ads within this boosted branding framework. Now, after that, these 1, 2, 3, these are the top 3 pieces of content from this gym over the last 30 days that's not boosted branding. So you can see the difference. If we don't turn these into ads, you don't get a ton of eyeballs on them. Even if this was 1,000 views, that's not many people in your local community. But when we boost it, now we hit the 10,000s, 15,000s. We can even hit 20,000 views in a 30-day period. So that's why it's essential that we do this. So what you're going to do is you put them in order. You're looking at your views and you're going to find your top 3. You can write them down. You can even just take a mental note of what they look like, because then it's easy to find them in the ads manager when we go to build the ad. So that's the only thing that we need to do here. We are just finding what are the top 3 pieces of content. Then what we're going to do, step 2, is to turn each one of those into an ad. And again, we're not trying to get leads or make sales. All we're trying to do is build brand and trust so that our direct response ads that we're going to cover next, they perform better. So with these ones, you're only going to spend $2 to $4 a day on each one. So that means you're going to spend $6 to $12 a day in total, because for each one, you're going to spend that $2 to $4 a day. So I'm going to flip over to the ads manager and show you how to set this up. So what I'm actually going to do, this is the current ones that are running for that same gym that I just showed you. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to duplicate this and just show really high level some of the things that are important as you set this up. So number 1, in the campaign objective, this is going to be an awareness objective. Remember, we're not trying to get leads. We're not trying to make sales. We're just building awareness, which ultimately is building brand and trust. From there, make sure everything is set to off. All of these things are defaulted and they're set to off. Now, when you go into your ad sets, what you're going to do is you're going to be targeting your regular audience that you normally have saved. Here you can see I was spending $4 a day on these ads. Here is the audience that this gym targets. And then what you're going to do is in the placements, you're only going to run them on your Facebook feed and your Instagram feed. You're going to turn off everything else. Now, when you do this, Facebook's going to tell you that it's not going to perform as well. Just ignore it, because what we do for a local brick and mortar business is very different than what a lot of people do when they're running ads for an online business and they're marketing to millions or hundreds of millions of people. Okay, then when we look at the ad on the ad level, what you're going to do is at the ad set, you're going to click select existing posts. So usually it defaults to create an ad. You're going to flip this to use an existing post. Turn off multi-advertiser ads. We're turning off all of the fancy shit that Facebook wants you to turn on. And it's always going to come up like this, that your cost per result isn't going to be good and your campaign score sucks and all that stuff. Just ignore it. Okay. Then here, there's going to be a button when you don't have this that says select post. What you're going to do is you're going to click on that button, and then you're going to find that post that we just found by looking at your insights. So you can see here is the one that is here right now. So if you wanted to find it, you're going to click change. What I like to do is flip over to Instagram, and then you're just going to scroll down and you're just going to find whichever one. I think this is this guy right here. So we can go back. Then you are just going to click on this one and you're going to click continue. So we're just going to select this. We click continue. And then it's going to start loading that as the post. Then from there, what you're going to do, you're not going to change anything. You're not changing the text. Turn off all of this campaign plus objectives. Make sure there's no call to action. Again, we want this to look just like the native post that you and your team made. So no call to action for the button. All this is turned off. And then once that continues to load, it's still loading, but you're going to see it pop up here. You can see it's loading right now. Once that's done, this will flip to that one that I just selected, and then you're going to click publish. Super easy, super simple. Now, when you go back to your ad set, what you're going to do is you're going to have 3 different ad sets. Don't have one ad set with your 3 posts in them. Have an ad set for each one. So that's how you're going to set this up. Now, in later videos, I'm going to go really deep into how to set up the best ads for your gym. But here we're covering high level so that you have a good framework of how to go in and set up these ads. Then what you're going to do is you're going to let your boosted branding ads run for 30 days. You don't touch them. You just let them run. And then at the beginning of the next month, so on right now it's June 25th, on the next month on July 1st, July 2nd, you would go in and you just repeat this process. You look back, you find your best 3 pieces, you turn off the ones that were running for the month of June, and then you do this again. And you just rinse and repeat this every single month. They're extremely simple to set up, and they are so valuable, and nobody does this. And this will really help explode your gym in 2025 and beyond. Now let's transition to talking about direct response ads and their structure and setup. Now, some best practices. Don't market free trials or discounted offers. Those worked in 2019, but they don't work in 2025. Now, when I say don't work, they can work, but for the average gym and studio owner, they don't work well. What you want to do instead is market what I call a ramp-up program. And a ramp-up program is a 4 to 12-week results-based program that is unique to your gym or studio. I believe it's either video 2 or 3 of this 6-part video series, we talk about a ramp-up program. So if you don't know what that is, you want to see how to design one for your gym or your studio, watch that. Another best practice that is working in 2025 is marketing to a narrower audience. A little bit of a backstory for my 4 gyms. What we used to do was market to women 25 to 55. But then as we got into the back half of 2024 and I started to notice these things that were working were all of a sudden not working very well because of this low trust environment, that is when I designed and built the Gym Growth Flywheel, which is this 6-part video series is all about. And part of that is building trust, which we just went over why and how to do that. But the other part is marketing to a narrower audience. And the reason that is when you market to women 25 to 55, for example, people that are 25, they have a lot different problems and goals than someone who's 55. So when you are creating content and you're trying to build that trust and we're setting up ads and we're trying to create the right offer and messaging, that's going to resonate a lot different with those demographics because there's a large variability. But when we go narrower, and now what my 4 original gyms do is they market to women 40 to 60. Well, women 40 to 60, although there's still a little bit of variability in there, they have more similar problems and goals compared to 25 to 55. So now when we create content, when we create our messaging, when we create our offer, it can really resonate with that audience and we can go really deep and we can talk about the problems and really pull on the emotional heartstrings of that audience. Another little quick tip is that older audiences are working great right now. For decades and decades, the fitness industry really has been targeting younger fit people. And for the most part, it still does. And now there is just a sideline of older people that are just waiting for some type of program to help them stay healthy and fit and add years to their life. So for my 4 gyms, we have 2 different programs. We market to women 40 to 60, and then we market to women 60 plus for an even older program. That is working extremely well right now. So I'd highly recommend, number 1, you do need to do a narrower audience, even if you didn't want to shift to an older demographic. If you work with young male athletes, for example, maybe you still want to narrow that audience a little bit. So maybe right now you'd be marketing like men 18 to 35. Maybe you want to narrow that up a little bit and you can speak to them on a deeper level. Now, for the actual setup, step 1 is you're going to write your copy, which is the words that are in your ad, and build your creative. And your creative is your photos and your videos. Now, right now, what I have found is call-out ads are working the best right now most of the time. A call-out ad is a simple ad where it's just text on the image and it just says, I'm looking for 7 women aged 40 to 60 in wherever your location are who want to, and then you just insert that result. They're boring. You wouldn't think that they work, but they work the best most of the time. That doesn't mean they always work the best. And obviously, you build ad fatigue. You can't just do that once and let it run forever. You do have to switch things up. But whenever I start new ad campaigns, I always include call-out ads because they are the ones that will perform best most of the time. Next is when you are building your ad copy creative. So this is for the photos and the videos. For the actual ad copy itself, I like to use a framework called AIDA, which is attention, interest, desire, and action. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip over back into this ads manager. I'm going to show you what a good ad looks like for this. So you can see here, this is the ads that we're running. These are these three. I'm going to blast these away because these are the ones that I duplicated to show you that test for the boosted branding. So you can see here are all the examples of the ads that I've been running in this location for an older audience. You can see there's a variety of results, and this is why you need to test lots of things. For some of the ads, they were really high cost per lead, and we'd let them run for a day or two and then turn them off. But for others, we get really low cost per lead. So we can get 15, 16, etc. And you just need to find your winners and then let it go. But what I want to show you is how to build a good structure. Now, what's an example of a call out ad? This is one example of what a call out ad can look like. So here you can see that I'm calling them out. So they're in West Calgary, women 60 plus, and then I'm putting on some of the goals that this demographic has that we're solving with our problem. So this is an example of a call it out. Another is just where it's even more simple, where you're just saying something like, we're looking for 7 women aged 60 plus in West Calgary who want to, then I could just put build strength and stamina to feel a decade younger. And all of that is just text on one image. But now if we go back, I want to show the general framework of how you write good ad copy using that AIDA framework. So the first part of AIDA was attention. And attention is right here. I'm calling out my audience, West Calgary women 60 plus. For if I was marketing the 40 to 60 program that this gym runs, it'd be West Calgary women 40 to 60. So whatever your location is and your audience, if you were that younger gym that works with male athletes, maybe it's West Calgary guys aged 20 to 30, whatever it is. But AIDA, attention, is the first part. You're just calling out exactly who you serve. Then what you're going to do is the second part is the I, which is interest. And what you're doing there is you're putting in a hook that would really pulls in your audience. So for here, the hook is say goodbye to fatigue, weakness, weight gain, and soreness with a fitness program for, and then you'd have to click see more to see the rest of this ad. But the point being is that your attention and your interest is all above those first 3 lines. So I'm just going to come back into this again. So you can see that is all happens this is called above the fold. So you need to click more to read more. But the 2 most important parts of writing your ad copy is the attention and the interest, and that all needs to occur in the top 3 lines of your ad. So that covers the attention and the interest. Then the desire section, that's where you are putting in more of what your program is all about. So that's the lengthy part of your copy that you're going to put in your ads. But right here, this is that attention and interest. All of this is the desire. And what you need to do in 2025 is what I call transformational benefits. Now, the thing that you want to avoid is only putting in features. Features is like 30-minute workouts, fancy equipment, the newest whatever. Nobody really cares about that stuff. What they care about is, can this program help me solve the goal that I want to achieve? So then the next best thing to do is put in your benefits. Now, benefits are like lose weight, gain strength, have more energy, etc. But now you need to go deeper than that because everybody puts in the benefits. So what you need to do is put in what I call transformational benefits. Transformational benefits are where you explain why you want to be stronger or why you want to lose weight. So for example, down here, you can see these are some of the transformational benefits. Want to get stronger without injury. So it's like, hey, I'm going to get stronger, but I'm going to do it without injury. It's going to prevent injury. Feel like your body is slowing down. So rather than just saying something like have more energy, we talk about who want to overcome things like feel like their body is slowing down. Now, another examples that maybe aren't on here is you might say something like, get stronger so that you can play with your grandkids all day, or lose fat so that you can reclaim the confidence that you had in your younger years. So again, the transformational benefit is what is the benefit? Lose weight, get strong, gain energy so that, and then you just insert what is like really what somebody wants from losing weight or getting stronger or whatever the benefit is. So you want to include that. Then the last part is the action, and that is where you're telling them what to do next. And that's usually right at the very bottom. So the action for here is basically right here. Ready to feel strong, capable, proud of your body again? Click here to learn more. And then they'd click here and it would go to the page or the website for this program. So that is how you build the high quality ad in your direct response ads. So that briefly covers what are the best images to use and then how to write the best copy. Again, in other videos, I'm going to go really deep on this, but it takes a while and I didn't want to record a 2-hour video for you guys. The next is the ad structure. So a couple best practices when setting up these ads. Only run these ads on your Facebook and your Instagram feeds, sometimes just your Facebook feed. So if we were to go back and look at here, similar to your boosted branding ads, when you go down to where they're placed, they are only placed on the Facebook feed for this demographic, and you can also do the Instagram feed. But the more that you shift to an older demographic, that's where you can actually do just Facebook. Your audience isn't caring about all of this other stuff. So don't put it there. Now, again, Facebook's going to tell you that your performance isn't going to be as good. And if you turn on all this stuff, it's going to work better. Just ignore it because Facebook is giving best recommendations for how most people market on Facebook and Instagram, which is online businesses to millions and hundreds of millions of people. Gyms and studios are not. They're local brick and mortar marketing to a very small audience. So you need to do it a little bit differently. Turn off all the fancy shit. So all of the Advantage Plus and multi-advertisers and all the things that it's going to want to do, you just turn it all off. Then what you're going to do is you're going to have one ad set, and your ad set is telling you what are you going to spend. So for this gym right now, they're spending $100 a day. Who are they targeting? So they're targeting women 60 plus in a 4-mile radius of the gym. And where is it placed? And we just went through that, and that is just on Facebook. So when you're setting up your ad set, you're only going to have one ad set, which is I'm marketing to these people in this spot, spending this much money, and I'm only placing them here. Then within that, you're going to have all of your ads. Now, I always usually start out with 3 to 4 ads, but then over the course of the month, that's when I'm going to be building and turning off different ads. So you can see all of those ads that we do have. They were all running at different times, and as you test and see which ones perform best and worst, that's when you're going to turn things off and on. But at any one time, I like to have 3 ads running. So you can see it right now, these 3 ads are running in that location. The other thing you're going to do is you're going to use a lead form, not send them to a website or a landing page with an asterisk. Now, I'm going to talk about this lead form in a second. If you are marketing to an older audience, when I say older, over 60, that's where you can use a lead form. I've spent $10,000 running different tests on websites or lead forms. Only for an older demographic like 60 plus does sending them to a website or a landing page perform as well as a lead form. Not even necessarily better, but it performs as well. But for everybody else, you want to use a lead form. And I did a massive test on this because I really wanted to determine what worked better. And the lead form produced more leads at a cheaper cost per lead. And the gyms that we did this test with were able to turn more of those leads into clients versus if you sent them to a website and then collected leads through your website. So you want to use a lead form. Now I'm going to show you how you want to structure your lead forms and what it works really well right now. I'm going to click on something so you can also see another good example of what's a call out ad. This was a call out ad that worked really well in the month of May. I think we ran this program. So I'm just going to show you really quick what a call out is. So here, women 40 to 60 in West Calgary experiencing any of these. And I just put on some of the symptoms. We have space for 7 more motivated women who want to reclaim their body's health and vitality. So this was a great call out ad that worked in the month of May. But I want to talk about the lead form, which this is what works really right now when building your lead form. Number 1, put at the top when you're building it for the headline, you're just going to put in what is the name of your program. So for this, we called the ramp up program, the spring shape up. Then what you're going to do is you're having another call out section. So join other women 40 to 60 in West Calgary. Again, we're calling them out so that they know what this program is on about, on a journey to reclaim their bodies and discover you're capable of an incredible transformation. So here, that's another like transformational benefit. We're not just saying lose weight, get strong. We're really telling them like what is going to be the outcome of this. And then this is the secret sauce. Put on the steps that they're going to go through as they fill out this form. I found that once I started to do this, the results were really strong. So step 1, apply to the program. Step 2, get matched with the coach. Step 3, get started. Apply today. Now, your steps might be a little bit different depending on how you operate in your gym, but overall, they'll be relatively similar. Then on the next page, you put step 1. So this way, what you're doing is you're setting the expectations and then you're walking them through the expectations. So step 1, apply to the program. So they get here. Step 1, please complete the form below to apply to the program. Then they're going to put in their first name, email, phone number. Quick hack, don't put last name on here. It's too much friction. People feel that it's more, I don't know, they're giving up more when they put in their last name. So remove last name out of it. The next one, you always just need to link your privacy policy. But then at the end of the last part of the lead form, Facebook always wants you to have a call to action. So now you're saying application complete. You've completed application, which was step 1. Please complete step 2 below. Please select which day and time works best for your schedule to speak with our fitness coordinator. On the call, we'll go over the program in more detail, answer any of your questions, match you with the coach, and get you set up if it's a good fit. This is going to sound different to you. Maybe you're bringing them in for a one-on-one sit down. Some people call those a no sweat intro. Whatever you want that person to do, whatever you want the call to action to be, that's what you're going to put in here. And then click here to complete step 2. This would then drive them to maybe a calendar where they can do that, something along those lines. But that is exactly how you want to set up your lead form in 2025. Make sure that you have that call out again and you give step-by-step instructions. So in quick review, in 2025, you need to be using this P2 ad system, which consists of boosted branding ads and direct response ads. With boosted branding, we turn our top 3 pieces of content into ads, which are just designed to build trust. Then we also pair that with our direct response ads, which drive high quality leads if you set them up the way that we set them up in this video, where you're marketing to a narrower audience, where you can go really deep, where you are setting up good ad copy and creative using that ADA framework, using call out ads, and marketing your ramp up program, and you're not marketing a free trial or a discounted offer. Now, I have a free private community for gym and studio owners, and in there, I've built an entire P2 ads course. You can see it right here. And it is everything that you need to know on how to master paid ads, what we just went through, boosted branding, direct response. But then we go deep into how to build creatives, your headlines, your copy, call to action, your lead forms, step-by-step instructional videos, how to monitor your ad performance. And I've even built a customized bot that will help write all of your copy for you. This is 100% free within that community. If you want access, go down in the description. There's a link, click, you can get in for free and get access to that course.